Hello everybody! This week Max Factor hired me to be their beauty detective, which is why I'm holding a pipe. I did have a Sherlock Holmes hat as well, but I can't find it, and I was going to do full-on fancy dress, but I'm missing half my costume. Anyway, that's besides the point. They hired me as their beauty detective to find out all about the Creme Puff face powder, which is a pressed powder, and it's barely changed, this product, since 1953. And so this year is its 60th anniversary, and Max Factor wanted me to find out a little bit about why the product had stood the test of time. So if you want to read my post all about that, then there's a link in the information box below. I'm not a massive pressed powder user, as you know if you watch my beauty videos. I just tend to do a little dot down the T-zone. So today I want to try this out on camera, see what the effect is, because I have to say that before I tried it for the first time, I was a little bit sceptical about how good it could be, whether it could be any good if they hadn't changed the formula from 1953, because things have moved on since then, and you know, cosmetics, there's something new and different and a different ingredient every week. And so for something that hasn't really changed, I thought that it was going to be very cakey, very kind of heavy and dry looking. So I'm going to try it out on camera, see what you think, and then also I'm going to go over and see Caroline Barnes, who is the makeup artist for Max Factor, and get a few tips from her. So let's have a go with this. I've got curly hair today. I'll put some information about that in the box below. I don't know whether it's a bit too curly, actually. I'll probably do with a little bit more makeup on as well, couldn't I? So translucent, and I'm using a big brush, and I'm just going to take that shine off my forehead. What I do like about this product is that it takes away shine. It's really light, but it's got a kind of a glow to it, not a glow in a way that it's got shimmer or glitter or anything like that. It's just slightly, very slightly light reflecting, so you don't get that deadened look. So I've been using this quite a lot in my beauty detective research. Just a little bit under the eyes because I've got a creamy concealer on that I'm trying. And that is all I'm going to do. So we're using the Creme Puff as a finishing powder?
Yeah, so there's many different ways to use powder. So first you can imagine the importance of powder is almost like the hairspray to your makeup. So it sets,
okay.
It keeps it in place, so it's not going to move. If you've got a face that's got a lot of oil and creams on, you aren't going to get the longevity from it. So the powder absorbs the excess oil from the product and allows it to last longer on your face, as well as giving a different texture. I love this as my powder brush.
Oh, it's small.
I know, yes, it paints the smallest cheeks in the industry. I mean, it really does, but at least I find it more controllable when it's more bespoke. Now, your colour would be golden, because you've got lovely warm yellow tones, or if you don't want to kind of worry about changing the colour in the winter and different seasons or holidays, you could just opt for the translucent, so you've got a colour that lasts for every day.
This is translucent. This is one that I've actually been using.
So you can see that's slightly darker in colour, but it's actually very sheer on. And then this is the golden, as you can see.
Ah, yeah, that's a better match really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is that slightly heavier coverage?
Again, it's how you apply it. But yes, personally, I find that translucent gives a lighter effect, and this almost gives like a slight medium coverage.
Okay.
Which one do you want to go for?
I'm going to go for this one.
Okay. So I use my little, which is a little blusher brush, and again, just sweep it around the T-zone, and especially under the eyes, because if you've used any sort of highlighting concealer or anything like that that's going to move a little bit but bounces the light, it's perfect because it just sets it.
And will you still get that reflectiveness through it?
Not through these areas here, but from the rest of the skin. So this is just totally mattified. When the skin will break through eventually, because it's only very fine, it's not a foundation or powder.
Yeah.
But now you can see through the camera that that's just mattified, and never powder the end of the nose. It's like one of my bugbears. If I'm teaching anyone about makeup, and you give a really heavy powdered nose, it's something to do with the feature being more forefront on your face, and you can have a really fresh complexion, but if that nose is covered in powder, it just instantly looks heavy.
Okay,
and made up.
That's
so
a good tip.
If I do a makeup, I just think, oh, I've gone too far. You need the spritz. If I see that, I always just take my thumb and just wipe the edge off, so it just looks a bit fresher.
We've done a T-zone. Is there any other way that we can use it? I mean, would you add any more, or could we keep on going for
Depends on
for
your
a
skin
full
type.
finish?
Depends on your skin type. Depends on what kind of look you're going for. So we've got our natural kind of all about town girl that's just got a little bit of chic. She's very modern, very minimalistic. So now you want to go with something just a little bit more tailored and just a little bit more polished, that might kind of last you sort of until lunchtime, until you can maybe have a top up. So that's when I would probably use a slightly bigger brush. Now the bigger brush will hold the same amount of product, but it's dispersed lightly on the skin. So when you've got a smaller brush, you get an intense amount of product in a smaller area, so you just get a different effect. So swirl it round and just knock off the excess. And again, you just start over the T-zone and really just softening the face. Now when you come to your cheeks, you've got a lovely soft down. Everyone's got a lovely soft fine down on their face. And it's really important to make sure that you take the brush in downward strokes.
Okay.
Because that just makes the hair on the side of the face lie flat and again more velvety smooth. And that's basically it. That's your powder done.
So there we go, 2 tips from the top. I especially like the tip about leaving the cheekbones free of powder, so the sheen of the foundation almost serves as a natural highlighter in a way, and also the thing about the end of the nose, which I'd never really thought about before. So thank you for that, Caroline. And I think that does conclude my work as beauty detective for Max Factor. I wish there was a whistle in this pipe. As I said, go and have a look at my post on my website. Loads of really, really cool vintage adverts on there, which I very much enjoyed reading. And make sure you're subscribed, and I shall see you next time.